Welcome to Pan-African Television. Welcome to the News Preview segment here on your #1 station. My name is Kwame Owusudan. So this morning, though, we're going to be discussing the African nightmare, as I like to describe it. The issue about the 3 strong African countries exiting from being members of ECOWAS is an issue that has become so topical and an issue that we must deal with here on the show. Also, Major Mahama murder, 12 jailed for life, 2 freed. Daily Graphic reported that story, and we will try and look at the issue here because it's been decided, so we are at liberty to comment on the decision or the ruling of the court. EC distances itself from Yendi primary declaration, but fails to respond to the gentleman who said that he was tempted to say Kokrodo, and then he realized that where he was, he couldn't mention Kokrodo because he's an independent person and has to pretend to be an independent person. Interesting times ahead. Black Stars budgeted $8 million for AFCON. Yes, my road in Dome Kwabenya is still untarred. This morning, as I used the route, it was very dusty, it was very dirty, and we are spending 8 million Ghana cedis on a fruitless expedition. Black Stars, either we reorganize it or we don't invest in it. We should rather invest in the national women's team. I think they are rather doing very, 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 very well. We need to invest in the women. Yes, I don't support investing in the Black Stars anymore. We have to invest in the women. Yes. Anajamibwa. Because they've won all their matches. Yes. They are committed, they are patriotic, they want to achieve something. Anyway, Hajam, that is here seated. Hajia, good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you are well.
Very well.
Alhamdulillah. My brother, how far?
Okay, cool.
You are butterfly. Is the butterfly still butterfly?
Yeah, of course.
So tell me, what's going on? What's been happening?
Oh, I don't know whether you are aware that we're going to have economic summit on Friday.
Economic summit?
Yes.
The butterfly movement?
Yes. Mr. Lanchamartin is the one champion in it. But it's supposed to be non-partisan, something that is to, if you like, build national consensus. Yeah, for national economic development plan.
Okay.
More or less, yeah. So
can you explain to us a little more?
Oh, okay. So, over the years, if you like, since 1992, we've run this country with manifestos. So all our development decisions are driven by manifestos. As a result, we know what has happened to us. The end result is what we have before us today. So, Mr. Lanchamartin, when he formed the movement, he spelled out 4 main objectives of the movement. First, he said the movement is to replace the duopoly.
All right.
And 2, he said also to form a government of national unity. And the 3rd one is to build national consensus for a development plan, national development plan. So the 3rd objective is what is going. The summit is going to deal with the 3rd objective of the movement. That instead of always depending on manifestos, now so this party comes with this manifesto about almost everything, education, the economy, everything. So when they leave office, another party comes with a different ball game altogether.
I agree.
Yeah, so there's always back and forth. If you remember, even on education, at a point in time,
4 years,
then came back to 3 years.
Professor Anamwa's report.
Yes, it's always been back and forth here and there. So Mr. Lanchamartin believes that the only way we can effectively navigate, the path to economic transformation is to have one plan for the country, that irrespective of which government is in power, you have to go by that plan. So that plan is going to serve as a roadmap for economic transformation and also affect other areas. So the summit is all about it. And Friday, we're going to have a lot of speakers. People are going to speak. It's now, this summit in particular is meant to be non-partisan. So people from academia, people from are all going to be part, because the idea is that as a nation, it's about time after 32 years of partisan and dualistic system, which has, like the winner takes all system kind of, we need to get to a point to say, no, what we've done in the past, after reviewing it, has not been effective. So let's chart a new path. And that is what Mr. Lanchamantin is doing. That is why I've always said that, so far, if you're going to be very objective, is the only politician who has shown some seriousness no one wanting to be president has shown. That let's depart from old way of doing things and chart a new path with this plan, development plan, which has to be owned by Ghanaians. That is why his GTP is going to be the base plan, but we're going to build on it, build a consensus around it to become a national plan for all of us as a nation. And for me, it's very important. So Friday, moving pick.
I'm sure I'll MC that event.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you, Ebo. Ebo Bachman is a leading member of Movement for Change. Hadia, would you like to comment on that briefly before we look at the African issue?
Good morning and good morning to our cherished viewers. There is no country that can devolve without a development plan.
So?
That is true. And country, yes, has been run on manifesto basis. And then my own uncle Alan Chamantin cannot run away from that thing because I think he was part and parcel of MPP 1 and MPP 2. So this idea that my brother here is talking about, I'm not sure it's new, because I think even the Convention People's Party, if you look at our 2020, 2012 manifesto, 2016 manifesto, you see how we elaborated on developmental agenda. Because if you look at the 7-year development plan of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, 5-year development plan, Kwame Nkrumah used only 9 years to transform this economy, this country. So it is good that we have a developmental agenda that is non-partisan, that everybody will buy into it. But I don't know who are coming to speak. Depending on who are coming to speak, that will give it a non-partisan outlook. That is very, very important, because I only read it on social media. But if you are going to say something that is non-partisan, and somebody leading it, we know he's partisan, whether we like it or not. Honorable Alan Chamantin has been a politician for all his life. It is now that I don't know what he didn't see in MPP and decided to shift and form the butterfly. And I was telling my brother Ebu the other day, butterfly party, anyway, let me leave that. You see, on a more serious note, Kwame, in this country, we are all pretending. Why am I saying this? Why can't we sit down once and just say enough is enough? Let's look at Ghana first. What can we do to transform this economy? What are we going to leave for the generations yet unborn? That our forests are being depleted, gold are extracted, among everything that God has given to us in this country, we don't own it. We don't determine the prices that are being sold. I think it is hard time that we call a spade and call for a national development agenda. But as I rightly indicated earlier, depending on the composition of the people who are coming to speak and the one leading it, because if you say it's going to be non-partisan, somebody who attempted to be presidential candidate and he failed, so you come and tell me that he is non-partisan now, then I'll believe. Even though Alan Chamantin is somebody, he's a gentleman, he's somebody I like. He's my personal person. Certain things I can't say it on air. People shouldn't get me wrong, because as for Ghana, they can read meanings into everything. He's like an uncle to me. I was telling, I don't know whether it was Ebo I was telling or something. Every Ramadan, especially Eid, the big one, Alan Chamantin will remember me.
Oh, wow. That
is a fact. And I am not shy to say it on air. Because how he gets to know, he just call me Nyaba. That's how he calls me. And you know, it is hard time we reconcile this country and stop looking at, oh, Kwame is this, Ibo is this, Haja is this. Because that has taken us back about, let me say, 30 or 40 years when we look at our developmental agenda. Why am I saying this? Look at Malaysia, who came to beg us to take palm nut from here. Look at what they are doing with palm nut in their country, extracting more than 20-something different varieties of what have you from palm nut. So what are we doing as a nation? We are extracting gold from our country, but we'll go to Dubai, go and buy the gold at an expensive kind of thing. We don't have is it a refinery? How do you call it? Yeah, to refine our gold. Kwame Nkrumah built one. He was just going to commission, and what happened? He was overthrown. So it will be good that maybe if Alan thinks of a national development plan, I will urge every political party to look at the way Kwame Nkrumah ran this country. Look, Kwame, we're talking about one drizzle, one factory. We have factories scattered all over the country, being taken over by rudiments and what have you, rats, and you can say anything. Look, in Zwarungu, we have a meat factory that can feed this country.
Yep.
In Kumasi, you know, the shoe factory. Obuasi, Aboso or something, the glass factory. And so we are even importing bottles in other countries to produce our. So I think if we are looking at a development agenda, we should look at import substitution. Because if you look at what we import, toothpick, meanwhile we have bamboo in this country that we can even produce our own bamboos. We import toilet roll. When women were talking about taxes on sanitary pads, we can even produce the sanitary. Do you remember the 3 ladies from Tech?
Yeah.
Where are they now? Who is helping them? Why do we give tax exemptions from foreign companies? After 4 years, they will declare bankruptcy and sell that company to another foreigner, and then he will also come and look for the tax exemption. I think when we look critically on what we are doing as a country, I think there's something wrong somewhere.
Right.
So I think we need a national development plan. We need a blueprint that will take us to the next level when we want to develop this country. Look, if you look at the 3 or 4 thematic areas that he's talking about, let's even take 4 as a country within 4 years. Not let's start to throw our tentacles wider. That is why we are not feeling the impact of whatever it is being done in the country. Look at education. Then we look at our human resource development. You understand? Because education goes with and then we look at our health. Agriculture, especially agriculture. Look at the arable land that we have from Tichima to Bolgatanga. Go to Western region, go to even part of Volta region, Ashanti region. And we are importing maize. How do you call it? How do you call it? Plantain. Tomatoes from a country that is supposed to be a desert country, Burkina Faso. Then there's something wrong with us. There must be something wrong somewhere. So I think we have a very good plan that everybody will buy into it. And then maybe if at the end of the day, Afran Franto will bring a blueprint that every Ghanaian will look at it and say, oh, this is something laudable, even if they are not in government. And everybody will say, wow, this is an agenda that when we follow, we'll transform this economy.
Difficulty I have,
what is it?
The difficulty I have is, and perhaps this is my only take on it before we move to the next topic, is that you recall that there was an attempt to put together a national development plan.
Yes, I know. I
think during Professor Mills, and then came to Mahama, and then another took over, and nothing came out of that. So it is not the willingness to put together a national development plan that we do not have. It is the willingness to execute it.
We are too partisan.
That is always
the partisan nature of the whole thing.
And again, when you say non-partisan, I struggle to come to terms with it, because everybody is partisan in this country.
Everybody.
People pretend, but everybody, one way or the other, belongs to a political party.
People vote.
But I think it is not a matter of whether somebody is partisan or not. It's a matter of whether in your partisanship you still think about Ghana. So
absolutely.
That is what we should begin to look at here.
Absolutely.
Because I can be MPP, but if I think deeply about the country, I will come to this economic forum, I will contribute, and then we can have a blueprint like I just suggested. Even if Afrafranto is not in power, and the next government can take advantage of that economic document and use it for the benefit of the country, why not?
Yeah.
So maybe we should begin to
that is.
look at it.
But Kwame, before I know you're moving to the next topic, but before I just said something which is very striking. You see, Kwame, it's highly unthinkable that as a nation, Malaysia is Malaysia largely because of oil palm. They came for oil palm from us. I mean, they got it from us, oil palm. You know, South Africa partly because of gold. And if you go to the Gulf states, because of oil. Kwame, we have all these. We have all these in abundance. So the question is, how is it that only one product has made Malaysia what it is today? And that product is here in Ghana.
The difference is that there's high levels of patriotism. In Ghana, there is none.
Yeah.
And I'll explain. We have a lot of indisciplined people in this country.
Yeah.
Indiscipline.
Yeah.
Indiscipline. And a certain sense of entitlement, you know, that, and I do remember when I was growing up in Asante Mampo, those days we used to call them tankers. And how people respected them.
Yeah.
And everybody was afraid of tankers.
Yeah.
So there was discipline. Even when you had, you know, because it's morning, I don't want to say, you know, and you saw them coming, most times people would just take it and put it under their bed because they didn't want the tankers to come in. But over the years, discipline in this country has waned. That's a fact.
Oh yeah.
People are so entitlement that you are on the road and someone drives carelessly, you prompt the person and say, "I don't know there."
Let me tell you.
No, listen.
Discipline ends at Togo border.
It's a problem.
And Paga border.
Yeah,
but they can't go there and misbehave.
Yes.
They can't go there and misbehave.
That's the whole thing. So discipline is the basic. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because if we're disciplined, we won't go and take money from what's it called, a member of parliament, someone who's aspiring to become your leader in your constituency. Go and take the money
and
from.
Be proud to be
saying that for me they didn't give me some, right?
And even some of us said they
how do you hold the person
responsible?
to account?
Yeah, to account.
How? Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So we are. I'm sorry, but I'm also part of it because we are
sick. You are right. You are spot on. You are spot on.
Until people complain, Paul Kagame is a dictator. In Rwanda, the only thing they talk about on their morning shows is development. You can't go and criticize anybody because the president is focused on developing the country. The people are focused on doing other things that will help the developing.
Yeah, that is it.
Even Antar Road is smooth.
Yes.
Antar Road
in their village
in Rwanda is smooth.
In their village. You have been there. In their village, in a place called Nyanza, they have a hospital which is bigger than a hospital in Accra. In their village, in Nyanza. And they have drones supplying medications to those. So it's planning, discipline,
leadership,
and patriotism.
Yeah.
But if you are patriotic, the leader himself will force you to be patriotic.
That is it.
That's the whole point.
That's why everything rises and falls.
You will never hear anybody say I'm a Tutsi or I'm a Hutu.
No.
If you ask them, I'm a Rwanda.
No, they stop. In Ghana, when I see Haja, what's your name? Where are you from? Really? The person is in Ghana. That's what matters. Where are you from? Then they say, me, I'm from North. Even the North, they want to tell you that I'm from this part of the North. No, it's wrong. And that is why Dr. Kwame Nkrumah introduced the body system. The body system was meant to bring all of us together.
If we say Nkrumah never dies, people don't understand.
You see, and that's the thing. Look at
there's better ideas.
Right now, there's something that's happening, and I'll say it. I don't fear anybody. I'll say it. Something that's happening, especially in the Ashanti region, where they've created a system of kingdom and kinship. There's nothing like that in the constitution. It is not supposed to be encouraged. It will get to a point where they will now say that they are so powerful that they want to actually secede. I'm telling you, we are joking, small, then these people, king, really, in Ghana? And then they are summoning political officers to their palaces. I mean, how did we get here? Do you understand what I'm saying? Until we get,
it cannot extend.
Let me tell you
to any jurisdiction. You understand?
And I know I'm the host, but let me say this because when we're talking about Ghana, I get so emotional.
Kwame, it should be.
In Rwanda, again, and I'll use that as an example. After the civil, the genocide.
Yeah.
Do you know they disbanded all chiefs? They closed down all palaces. So there's no chief. There's nothing in the country. There's nothing in the country. And every minister or every member of parliament, your number is an open book. Everybody knows it. If they call you and you don't pick and they report you, the next moment you are out. So when you go to the ministries, the numbers are there. The minister's number is there. You call the minister directly and you tell them your grievances.
So Kwame,
in Ghana, the ministers think they are gods. Yeah. We have to worship them. In Ghana. In Ghana. And then that's good. I said in Ghana, the ministers and the MPs, the members of parliament who are supposed to serve their constituents, they think they are gods. So you can't even call them. You can't even talk to them. And then when it is closer to election period, then they will go and dash you 10 Ghana cedi, 15 Ghana cedi, a bag of rice, flat screen, and you go and vote for them. Then they will be silent till the next 4 years. Then they will come back. Are we stupid? Are we mad? Why?
No, there must be some kind of orientation.
Something is wrong with us.
Yeah. I think. I mean, the difference is
something is wrong with us.
See, the advanced countries are advanced countries because of laws. Discipline, as you rightly mentioned.
But don't we have laws?
Singapore became Singapore on the back of discipline. Discipline. So in Singapore, for example,
but even China had the guy closed down China. He said no discipline.
Yeah, discipline.
A Chinese will speak his language first before speaking English.
But do you know there are areas in Accra, if you go and park, somebody can come and tell you to move because she wants to put her wares to sell.
I said go to Makola. I've been going to Greater Accra Regional Police.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, I'm not going to move.
Go there. You can't even drive. When you're driving, you are rather scared.
Scared, yes.
Of the
hitting somebody.
You cannot drive somebody. The people have just been crossing left, right, center. We have shut down these Apsonic bikes. The train now they are taking over Accra. Soon Ghana will be like Nigeria, Lagos. You can't even move. Is that what we want? We're so disciplined. It's sad. It's sickening. And we are here condoning and encouraging these things because of political expediency. Politics.
Yeah.
That they sack the people. In fact, in Koforidua, I think the MC, what did they call them, MC or DC?
Yes, MC.
He sacked all the people who were selling on the pavement. Do you know what happened? The next moment, they told him that you need to bring back the people because we have to win the elections. This was in 2020. People are trying to develop. Kroboduce, it's not Kroboduce, what's his name?
No, you can even see Kroboduce was even a long time.
Yes.
Even Minyala.
Circle. Those days, circle. You couldn't even walk there.
That man, what's his name?
I've forgotten his name.
Something. What's his name? The one who disciplined us at circle. No.
Amankwa.
Something Amankwa. I'm telling you.
In discipline, that's a problem.
I'm telling you, I was going to park in Nima. Then the lady said, I can't park there. I didn't mind her. So I parked and got down to go and greet my sister. So I was telling my sister that I said, why? I'm paying road toll and then you roadworthy and then I'm come to park and you're telling me not to park. So my sister was like, Ajakere Yanko. And the lady was at the back of the place performing ablution. And I beg you in house. I said, no. That is not right.
She's doing the wrong thing.
The day before yesterday. The day before. So now I don't go to Nim. I can't visit my family there because you can't get a place to park. Even if you park there, somebody will tell you he gave you parking space, so you have to give him some.
Yes. I'm telling you, everywhere. When you go to the hospitals and you when you go to the hospitals and you park, then you park. The hospitals that you park, you park though. The hospital proper parking. Then when you are leaving, the screen man say, "Oh boy, you know, you have to drop something. Your boys are here." Police officers. In fact, yesterday when I was going to the office, police officers, the MTTD guy, the one who stands at the Fiesta Royale, that traffic light. When I was going on, the gentleman just knocked, and then I rolled down. He said, "Oh, your boys are on the ground." I said, "Which boys are on the ground?" He said, "Oh, you know, you have to."
No, I think begging is just like
this is a problem.
I
don't want to make excuses for anybody.
Oh, but you are going to make an excuse for somebody.
but you know, currently the way things are, people are really struggling. And
so you think I'm not struggling?
Everybody's struggling.
That's
the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. I said that people are really struggling, and sometimes, unfortunately, they have to resort to begging. to make ends
Can
meet.
can I tell you something?
I'm not condoning that behavior.
I agree, you're not condoning. But the thing is that, you see, and that is what we fail to admit. Haji, are you not struggling?
Very.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ebo, are you
Of
not?
course.
You see, so we are all trying to do things to get by. It doesn't mean I have it in excess for me to come and give to you. I don't. What I have right now, and I'll be very honest with you, when I finish buying my fuel, I have something small to chop. But you think, when you see me in a car, you think that automatically I'm a rich man.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that. Then we should allow Arm Robert to come and steal our money.
We're discussing about, and I took the person to maybe even religious wise or moral wisdom, because now, Kwame, if you have a son going to school, and maybe I come and tell you, my son is going to school, I need school fees.
Good.
I'm not being fair to Kwame.
Yes.
You understand? I have orphans, maybe some orphans somewhere need help. Then I'll leave the orphans in my house. Then I'll go and it is not rewarded according to the Islamic dictates. If there are people in your family struggling, then you say because somebody is begging on the road, you go and give him. Meanwhile,
it's even in the Bible.
Even them your family in Kumbungu,
They are struggling.
they are struggling. Abba,
Yeah.
why?
You see,
It's in the Bible,
and in these times, you don't take certain bad decisions, Gabi. You see, the reason why I like Joshua Alabi so much, Professor Joshua Alabi so much, is one time my wife and I visited him. And we're having a general conversation. I asked him, how many kids do you have? I mentioned. Then he said he also has 2 kids. Then he said, Kwame, do you know why I have 2 kids? Because I want to be able to take care of them, give them the best in life. Then I'll be sitting in my house. There's someone who has given birth to 6 children.
We'll bring you the bill for
Will
that.
bring me the bill of his 6 children for me to pay. Kwame, you don't think I could have given birth to 6 too? But I limited myself to 2 because that is what I can afford. People give birth expecting other people to take care of them.
You see, Kwame, there's nothing wrong with giving birth, even if it's 1,000, if you can take care of
That is the point I'm making.
You see, I'm just adding to what he's saying. Because at times, I look at the whole issue. Like, maybe you are a by-day worker and you have 6 children. Are you not punishing these children?
I'm punishing them.
Because
Kids on the streets, look at
when
them.
you bring them to this world, it is in the Quran, you have to take care of them.
Yeah.
So that when you also grow old,
They'll take care of you.
Take care of.
Yes.
But you see people, especially squatters,
Yes.
are the one giving birth in this country more than even those who are in their own houses.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, 1, 2.
You know these beggars on the road who are coming from Nigeria
I know.
other countries.
I know.
Do you know what they are talking to say about Ghana?
No.
Let me say it in Hausa before. Ghana na kiotaka masu kashe mutum. That we give as if we've killed a human being, so that maybe God will forgive us our this, because that we give too much. Most of them are billionaires, so they send the money back to their country
Yes.
for investment.
Yes. Yes. So
The
again,
UK had a similar problem with the Romanians who were coming in as what they even call gypsies on the streets of London. There was becoming a quote-unquote a pandemic for the mayor of London. And what he did was they decided to use investigative journalists to trace
follow them.
these people.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was a panorama documentary.
Yeah, yes.
To trace these people. At the end of the day, they were not handicapped people.
Mansions.
They were acting as handicapped people.
Didn't you see the one in Los Angeles? She'll come and park a Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, Mercedes Benz.
They'll walk away from the main street, go into a dark alley, gather there. A van will come and pick them, take them home, where they get normalized. They come and walk around the house. They are chatting. They are happy. Following morning, they
go
dress
to the
as
business
again, go and act as handicapped people on the streets of London. Then they decided to chase them into Romania. My goodness, the whole community is a competition of who has the biggest house, the most colorful, the most decorated, and these are the people who are handicapped on the streets of London. After that experience, I started seeing these Niger, Chadian people on the street differently.
It's a business.
There was one time on that traffic light at Sunny FM.
Yes.
Telling it to Alisa.
Yes.
There used to be some kids there, about 20 of them.
They are there, so.
Every morning when I'm going to a program,
Give them
and I
something
give
small.
them something. But then one day was a holiday, so there was no traffic. And when I got there, I was running late. So they saw the car. I was using the black car at the time. They saw the car coming. They got excited. They started running towards me. So as I was trying to slow down, I saw a man with about 7 women standing under a tree at the other side. And they were all just looking at me. And the children were looking at them and pointing at me, and they were just jubilating. So I read the whole thing and I was like, what the hell?
Hey, you've seen the one at the crowd too.
Yeah.
They are under the bushes, the men and women, and they will send their
But
children.
who is in charge of getting them off the streets? Because
Supposed to be the assembly.
first of all, our streets are unsafe.
Yeah.
Getting choked.
No, because
by
they can't be
hawkers.
sized. So even the assemblies are misled to think that these people is a humanitarian issue.
But
But remember, I think recently we sacked a lot of them. We repatriated a lot of
Back
them.
to their country.
Yes.
Kwame, you are a lawyer. I mean, public begging, is it not illegal?
I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't know the law on that yet.
Okay.
You see, I don't know the law on that. But I want to think that, I mean, even in terms of development, it is backward, because if you have to develop, when you go to Bakola and those places, even those people who do legitimate, illegal legitimate jobs, right? See the way they've littered the whole place. And when they finish that, the one at Kaukudi, oh my goodness. You know, women who sell on the pavement at Kaukudi, now it's like a shop. When they close it, that's what I'm saying. When they leave the place and you go there in the evening, the whole place is dirty, littered. Nothing
It's
is
even dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Dangerous.
And but when you knock on somebody,
fairly breaker. What will happen?
Anyway, see, but one thing I think we should look at is how. This thing is not. Someone sent a message, and I want us to briefly touch on it before we look at the other issues. Today, we'll finish all the topics. Someone said, let me read it. Good morning to you all. Everything is falling apart under this government. And when I see messages like this, I shrink. And I'll explain why. I think that the oversimplification of issues is also a problem. The fact that we simplify issues, but we also leave it at the doorstep of whoever is in power, forgetting that most of these issues are perennial. Now, the question is, are we looking at the effect of the problem that we've created, or we are looking at how to stop that which we created in order that we can have a positive effect? I don't know if you get my argument. So, for instance, Dumso, and again, I will use it as an example. Dumso did not start under Mahama, right? Dumso has been a perennial issue because we failed to add on to the investment made by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So we failed, right? Now, Mahama suffered the brunt for it, okay? And at the time, as a nation, the conversation should have been, how do we deal with it completely?
Completely, yeah.
Not who created the problem, or why is this one the person who is having to deal with the problem. So, it is Mahama. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get the point.
So, this oversimplification of issues and creating a system where it is the party in power that suffers the dealings of previous administrations, don't you think is also part of the reasons why we are where we are?
Of course, Kwame.
That everybody is running away from from the problem, except the person who is in power.
Yeah, but Kwame, the point is that, you see, when parties find themselves in power, they only want to do things that will win them power. Like you rarely mention the Kofodua issue.
Yes, please.
I mean, they needed to do something.
Yes.
They did it. It was right, and somebody had a call that get them back onto the street because we want to win power. I mean, decisions are made because we want to win power. That is what is killing us. We don't make decisions. You see, some of the decisions should be tough enough, regardless of the consequences. Yeah. But you see, we want to make it, flexible, because if you make it so hard, then we are going to if you make it so rigid, then we are going to lose the election. So the election mentality, winning election mentality, is also causing a lot of problems, because we don't do things that will endure. Okay. We do things that will.
I get your argument. Maybe I'll let Gabby tell us why we got to this point where winning election has become more important than addressing societal problems. So think about it. But let me read a few messages. Hadia, it's like today people are really enjoying you, pal. Aziz Bumba says, the hard truth, Hadia, with exclamation marks. Then Julie Belina says, hey, Honorable Gabriela, long time. Then Asawasi NDC says, more fire, Hadia, more fire. With love emojis. Hey, Hadia, I chop your love.
Maybe it's my nephew.
Michael Buabendako says, Rwanda you are talking about, Paul Kagame, a proud son of Africa. He's a leader, not in a group of corrupt party. Ghana, we are joking. How to become rich in government within 1 year is all we think about. And to a sense, the politics is all about development, dedication, and patriotism. Those who claim to be politicians must learn this simple rule or quit, or get severely punished for their misdeeds. I think we also don't punish politicians when they misbehave. Patrick Ingetia says, good morning. This morning, again, so answer that question for me. But also in answering that, also look at the politics of clientelism, where somebody will sponsor you, and then when you win, you give them jobs. This morning, I was listening to a radio station on my way to the office. And it will interest you to note that there's a member of the MPP, in fact, a member of parliament, who issued a caution that if this system of monetization, Apia Kubi, I don't want to mention his name, you've mentioned his name, is not stopped, he will quit politics. He will leave the party. So it's a big problem. He said that it is something, it's an investment that you make without expecting anything in return. So, Gabi, let me let you touch on those ones, and then all of you will touch on it, and then we move on. Yeah, please.
Okay. So I'm deciphering two issues that you are raising. The first one has to do with why politicians. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, please.
Why are political parties formed?
Where?
Why?
Why? Well, do you want the genuine answer, or
Yes.
you want the embellished one?
The real
Political
answer.
parties are formed primarily to sort of, lead a country. I mean,
Political parties are formed first of all in a democracy to take power.
Absolutely, yeah. To lead the people.
To win power and to
Take
govern.
power.
To take.
Yes. It is after you take power
That you can lead.
before you lead.
Right.
Now, the reason why in our part of the world it appears that we kind of always want to shift responsibility and the blame game, it's a negative attribute of our politics. Because primarily, once you take power, your job is to solve problems and to develop a nation. Those are the two basic things of taking power. And if you were to add other dimensions to it, improve on security and on you go. But primarily, it is to take power. He said something, that political parties, when in power, your mandate, first of all, is how to maintain
The power.
So the example that you gave about they trying to clear the streets of Ofredia, the MC thinks that is the right way to go. The place needs to be decongested. But the political party that brought the party into the government into being sits back and realizes that the backlash from that policy is causing disenchantment amongst our ranks, and that will cause us to lose votes.
Yeah.
And man, it's the political parties that fight for the power. So when they start making the noise, the government will pull back. You need a leader who is able to take the bull by the horn and still say, despite the disenchantment in Kofoedia, I am serving the people of, let's say, Teshi. So I'm doing something positive in Teshi, that Teshi will still reward me, even if Kofoedia fails me. But our politics is such that because we are so hooked onto this constituency, this is our stronghold, this is our whatever, we have to hold our strongholds. So the least provocation, government withdraws. There are a lot of fantastic policies that are on our books that are unable to be implemented properly because of this problem. The example he gave with Singapore, you have to credit Lee Kuan Yew with one thing.
Of course, he shut down.
The man was willing to explain his policy and his vision to the Singaporeans, to the extent that no matter how upset some people were, those who saw what he was trying to do always gave him that backing to continue what he was doing. If you don't have that amongst your followers, you never progress as a leader. You need to have people willing and able to understand the change you want to commit yourself to. Last week something happened that upset me. I'm an advocate for strong public sector institutions.
Yes.
And I'm also an advocate for preserving some of the legacy institutions in this country. If you take a company like Produce Buying Company, I've never worked with Produce Buying Company. I have no connection to Produce Buying Company. But as a matter of principle, if you look at what cocoa has done for this country, okay, and if you look at all the resources Ghana is blessed with, the one that is most renewable is cocoa. I was very upset last week when I saw on the news that the banks had taken over some of the assets of Produce Buying Company because they owed the banks to the tune of almost 300 million Ghana cedis. And they owe GRA over 200 and something million Ghana cedis. And I was telling myself that at a point, just less than 10 years ago, this company was the number one on the Ghana Club 100. And this is one company that I'm upset about how it's turning out. Because look, as much as you want to privatize the transportation and the empowering local entrepreneurs to go into produce buying cocoa seeds and supplying to cocoa board for export, it's important for the state to have a fraction of that market, because that is the one that guarantees you that constantly you'll be able to make do on your demand requests. But we've sat down for this company to collapse. Workers have not been paid for how many years? And unfortunately, and I say this with a broken heart, I'm very surprised that Akufo-Addo, of all people, has still not been able to put his foot down in the cocoa sector. And look at the current rot in this sector. This is one commodity that has built this nation. Going back to your question, the political party that brought him into power is busily destroying cocoa farms for Galamsey. Do you expect Akufo-Addo to do any better? No, because nobody is able to tell Akufo-Addo that this commodity called cocoa is very important to this nation. How much don't we get from exporting cocoa? The entire economy of this country is dependent on cocoa. We get more from cocoa than from oil. Do you understand the point?
Yeah.
So if you ask the question, why is it that when we come to power as politicians, we allow these things to go on? It's a very simple answer. Leadership. If you, the leader, you are unable to put your foot down as a leader when you are going into a contest as flag bearer, you are not just representing you are not just a potential president, you also happen to be the leader of the party. When in power, you have two responsibilities: one that brings you to power, one that maintains you into power, and how you manage these two. And if you are not able as a leader to manage the two, forget it. It will be translated into what you asked.
Very well.
You keep thinking, why are we not solving the main issue? Why are we blaming this person? Why are we doing this? It's leadership. You have a choice. And then the monetization, it is a big problem. And the NPP for the last 7 years has come to aggravate the problem. They've made politics so expensive. Right now, if you go and talk to grassroots politicians, and I'm not talking about those who have managed to get their way to national, even there, most of them are also going to be corrupted along the way. But even the ones that are up and coming, and you ask a simple question: why are you a politician?
They don't know.
They think it's an avenue for
making money.
Making money.
Quick money, not just making money.
And this is what they see. Because somebody going for an election decide I'm going to pay 10,000 per delegate, 5,000 per delegate. Where did they get this kind of money from? And your delegate list is about 700, 800,000 people. If you are paying 5,000 per delegate for 1,000 people, that's 5 million Ghana cedis. If you have 5 million Ghana cedis, won't you go and open a factory for yourself and employ people and be productive and still do something for this country? Than to go and pay delegates to go and sit in parliament. And they come and complain that when you are doing the mathematics, you are making losses. The amount of money it costs you to get into parliament and the amount that what you are getting out of parliament, it doesn't balance. So why there? But we've made the thing so expensive. The fact is we have something we say, one must not so it's a big problem.
It is indeed.
It is a problem that has to be
and
stemmed.
I don't know how we're going to deal with it. But maybe eventually we need to have some public lectures on these things and see how we can create a workable solution.
It is not a lecture.
And
it is for those aspirants, the political parties. If the issue is that they need TNT, let those who are contesting contribute.
all of them.
Even if they are going to contribute 100 cedis per person for the TNT and 5 people are contesting, that means they are paying 500 cedis per delegate for transportation. It is enough. Put that in the pool and let them, whatever money you get, even if it's 50,000, that's what you give to the delegates as their transportation. And this business of going to pay 500, because you made mention of something. The businessman that is supporting you to go into this contest,
Of course.
he is not charity. He is doing it because he's going to use you one day. And then you, if you are not able to meet his expectations when you win power, you see what they'll do to you.
Yeah.
They'll frustrate your life more than anything in this world.
Yeah.
Then, so what's the point?
Let me come to you, Ebo, on the same matter.
Come here.
And again, let me be quick to make the point that in all of this, you know, and flowing from Gabriela's submission is also the unattended issue of corruption.
Yeah, corruption.
And corruption, which obviously is as a result of the way and manner we have managed our political economy, right? Yeah. So again, I'll go back to Rwanda and give you an example. When I was in Rwanda, I was schooling in Nyanza. I had paid my fees, but I was left with about just a little, you know. So I went to the account officer's office with the money in my hand. I wanted to go and pay. The person was so frightened. I said, "Oh, why?" He said, "Do you want to put me in trouble? So you are here to test me. Then you record me, then you go and say it." So the giver is afraid. Because to them, you don't know who is setting you up. That's their mentality. And I can bet you that nobody takes bribe in Rwanda. I didn't see it. I did not see it. A policeman will stop you if your whatever has expired, and roadworthy or whatever has expired. So they have this gun-like machine. When you're coming, they will just point it. And then if it has expired, you get there, you don't come down. If you come down from the car, you'll be arrested. So you don't come down from the car. You'll be seated in the car. Then they will give you the same system. You punch in if you have to pay immediately, if you have money to pay immediately, you pay immediately. Go straight into the central pool. If you are unable to pay, they'll give you a chit. And then they'll tell you to go and pay before you move the car. Because the next time if you move the car, you'll be arrested. So that is the kind of system they run. Physical money doesn't.
That is how it should be.
And so you see,
the corruption.
Exactly. Because again, the politician who is investing, let's say 1.5 million Ghana cedis, right? In mere primaries. So the general one, primaries. He's investing 1.5 million Ghana cedis, right? How do you expect the person to recoup his investment? By stealing from you. Therefore, invariably depriving you of my Dome Kwabena Road because of some greedy people. But forgetting that it is not only MPP people who live in that constituency, or in fact, if it's not even only delegates who live in that area. Different people live there. We all expect some form of development from the people we put into power. But because of some greedy people, they will go and take 1,000 cedis, 2,000, and all of that, and then we will continue to stay in a mess. So maybe in your submission, Try and look at all these ones. If you try,
Yeah, Kwame.
that means my ears have said it all.
Kwame.
Please.
What this woman has done to you people, the only God knows.
Kwame.
Who Adwa? Oh, I don't hate Adwa. Oh, I don't hate Adwa.
I know you don't hate her.
For whatever it's worth, there are some places in the constituency where we have good roads. Yeah. For whatever it's worth, and I'll give her that. I'll give her that credit. That one, I don't hate her. I think the people were not excited about how she conducted herself in the dying embassy.
Yes.
I mean, that's just it.
Yes.
And it is purely, you said it is purely party politics. That the party felt that you betrayed us, so we'll mafia you. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's not because
it wasn't about any mafia. Anyway, let's say.
Anyway, make your point. Make your
Kwame,
point.
if you sow,
expect that she will win that.
Anyway.
Kwame, if you sow a seed of corruption, what do you expect to reap?
Corruption.
And not because you sow a seed of corruption, you're not going to reap
Development.
No, you're not going to reap just one corruption.
Okay.
Because whatever you sow will have to multiply. So if people will have to pay that much to become MPs, then what are they doing? They are sowing the seed of corruption from day one. And so when they go to parliament, the question is, how do I recoup? How do I get my money back and make some profit thereof? So corruption. You see, interestingly, I mean, when MPP started, every constituency, you have only polling station chairman who was a delegate. So if you have, let's say, 100 polling stations, you're going to have 100 delegates. So the argument was that if they are 100, you can easily buy them.
Buy them.
So why
That's
don't
how it
we? Yes. So why don't we expand it so that
we
people
can buy them.
will not be able to buy? So that's the irony of the show, the whole show. That 100 can be bought. So let's expand it. Now you've expanded it, and interestingly, they're even paying more than what they used to pay when it was only few people voting, and that's what surprises me. But I have 2004. I contested primaries in Cape Coast.
Hey!
When it was one constituency against Honorable Christine Chacha. In those days, in fact, Kwame, let me be honest with you. Today, I would not even dream of contesting election. But in those days, I mean, to contest primary, I mean, I was a teacher at Ghana National College. I could manage it with my salary, and that is how it's supposed to be, because you are going to serve. So why should it be that if I am going to serve, I have to pay
to go and serve
through my nose to be able to serve? And that is something highly unthinkable. Kwame, you see, what we hear is what was said on the D-Day. But before the D-Day,
what happened? We don't know.
Yeah, because you have to be meeting delegates. I mean, some started about 6 months ago. They've been meeting delegates, some bringing delegates to Accra from Kumasi, other places. Sometimes for them to make the delegate feel good, instead of road, they come by air, so that I mean something different is happening to you because of the
camping.
Yeah. So Kwame, it's a serious thing. I mean, this is a national issue. It is not MPP issue, and it's not NDC. Let me tell you, the truth is that the MPP one has been escalated because they are in power. If NDC is in power, the same thing will happen. Do you get the point I'm making? So it should be. It's an issue that we need to be able to, tackle it holistically as a nation. You see, one other thing we need to also look at is the system of governance we are practicing. I mean, the Constitution enjoins whoever becomes president to pick 50% from parliament. So people are going to parliament not because they want to be legislators. People are going to parliament. There are some people who go to not because they want to be legislators, because they think it will serve as an avenue for them to become ministers. So they are prepared to. I mean, if it is your salary as a parliament, as a result of which you are spending this amount of money, then it is highly imprudent. But because they also see there's an opportunity to become a minister, to have access to a lot of things. But if you can have a system of government where if you are an MP, you are a legislator, like the American system. If you are a legislator, you are a legislator. You choose to be a legislator, and that is where you're supposed to be. Let others also handle the executive. But a situation where one is an MP, is a minister, I mean, all these things are causing all the problems we are facing now, because people want to pay and pay, because I can easily become a minister, especially those with.
But you see, I don't think that the Constitution is entirely wrong in doing that, particularly when, if you have a system where government is unable to perform by reason of lack of support, for instance, then it becomes a problem for government.
But look at the calculations.
Yeah.
Let's assume you are going to appoint 80 ministers deputies, right? Today, let's use this parliament as it is, 137. If you take if you're 50% out of parliament, we should take only 40 appointees out of your 137.
Exactly.
So the 90 something that are left
What
of
are
you.
they doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You see?
No,
Yeah,
so,
But I don't know why the fixation with.
Yeah, Kwame, so the point is that with this, I mean, when during NDC primaries, we saw how people were splashing money. NPP primaries, it has
We were
happened.
paying 10 cedi, 20 cedi, 10
No.
cedi,
I've
20 cedi.
said when NPP is in opposition.
it's not about even paying 10 or 20. You pay.
Yeah, if it's a city, the point
I want to say
is,
something.
Gabi made
You say-
a fantastic point. That, you see, they call 5,000 TNT. 5,000 cities TNT.
I don't know what to be for feeding.
Kwame,
And then this will do this because in fact, that is for the actual still people who don't know.
you wait. Kwame is here.
Let him land.
So
Let him land.
Kwame, you see, as Gabi rightly said, if we don't deal with this issue, as I said, it's anytime you do that, we are sowing the seed of corruption, because the end result will be that they will have to recoup. They will have to get what they invested, and it's going to affect you and I, because we pay taxes.
It's affecting us.
Yes.
Not it's going to.
Even the more. Let me say the more, because it's already affecting us. So Kwame, my point is that if the parties can decide,
But it is an offense, you know.
it's an offense. You see, that is what is quite interesting, because some were caught on camera, and the question is what has been done because it's an offense in our books. It's an offense. That is why it's amazing how they call it TNT. Some people have to walk, because certainly where they are voting is a polling station. So somebody is just staying right there. But it's green TNT of 5,000 to just walk and go.
5,000. Hey.
I mean, and they call it TNT, and it's quite worrying. So Kwame,
Branded television sets,
Kwame,
you know,
yes.
Yendi branded, and then the Maslock lady, is it not Maslock?
Yes.
She contested.
Farouk, yeah.
You know, Maslock, and already some 3.8 or 13.2 million dollars can't be accounted for, my brother.
There's a lot happening, bro.
Yeah.
So I think we need to do something about this system.
You know
And the hair
this
or
no, there come here. You know this NYEP or something. That person too. NEIP.
He
he
lost.
lost.
Yes, but
Not on pray.
apparently some monies
No,
were
it's not on
transferred.
transfer.
No, some monies were transferred.
It's not a prayer.
No, I mean,
Some-
the contestant
some-
are not been done pray.
So the OSP, I think, has arrested the person.
Okay.
This one is Allah.
And no, I'm just trying to
No,
make
I'm
a
saying
point.
that-
You see, I'm just trying to make a point.
You
that
just make noise before you get.
no. There's evidence that some monies were moved from the account of NEIP to delegates. There's evidence.
Okay.
Yes. So that one, I think it's a fresh matter. It came out, I think, yesterday or so. So
okay.
so quite fresh. Yes.
It's fresh.
Yeah. So let me conclude.
Yeah.
Let me conclude. So conclusively, Kwame, what I want to say is that it's an issue the political parties themselves must address, because if this one should continue, if it continues to, you know,
There won't be any development in Ghana.
yeah. I mean, look at the money that is, and the question is where
Are they getting
the money from? And that it's
from the
Maybe it's Ajana 1, Ajana 2.
So Kwame, I think the parties themselves must address this issue.
Yeah.
They should make it as at a point in time. Some felt that people can easily be bought if it is only few people. Now they've realized that they realize that it's not working. So they should go back to the old way of doing things, and that will help all of us as a nation. This is not MPP issue. This is not NDC. This is national issue, because money when money moves from here, when money.
If you are mention all political parties.
All political
I want
parties.
to come there.
All political
I want
parties.
to come there.
Yeah.
You
So the point is that when you move money from one place, it affects every part of the economy.
We are streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. We are also streaming live on YouTube. Our WhatsApp number is also active. Monetization of politics in Ghana. What do you think we can do to deal with the issue? Your reaction to a person's action is indicative of the will towards that person. So we need to ensure that we deal with this matter holistically, devoid of any political interest that we may have. And Adia says he wants to tackle the issue from the foundational blocks so that we'll be able to, So Adia, please,
the floor is yours. I remember when we used to go to IEA, we were talking about funding of political parties.
Yes.
Depending on who is in power, then the one in opposition will shout the loudest. And that's between the two political parties that have ruled this country from 1993 till today. And you have political parties like my political party. Even dues collection is a Herculean task. Let's be realistic and tell Ghanaians the truth. I won't put my Maya fear and come and sit on television and lie. We are all, even those who cannot contest election, they are guilty of giving delegates money. Have we ever asked ourselves where people are getting the money to give people? Look at this, my party. You go to Congress and some people will be in the queue. We are not voting. We are waiting for Ajay's envelope. We are waiting for Kwame's envelope. We are waiting for this. It's a fact.
It's a fact, yeah.
But the NPP one was pronounced because they are in power and we think it is our money that they are sharing. True or false?
Oh, of course. Yeah. That is it.
During the NDC, even women's contest, we saw a fan and on a Kia, allegedly, that it was going to be shared. Let me tell you, even 1992, Bentwa and Kako were given. But now it has taken a different form because nobody will accept Bentwa or Kako.
Yeah.
And
Maggie
you understand?
to NPP people.
You see, the issue is that, let's face it, Gabriela, we are all guilty. All of us are guilty. You understand? We are all guilty of that. Because, let me tell you, if you take somebody's money without voting for the person, it's a curse. I will never. I remember Professor Mao Sidekemi, he so rest in peace. In 1999, when we were going for our Congress in Lagos, there were 4 contestants. And he came to say that, Hamdatu, you know what? This is Indum Abubakar Makigan group. And this is Dele Agude and somebody group. So he is a neutral person. And he was so right today, I didn't know. It's something that I have to say it to Ghanaians to understand. Then he gave me a parcel. That I was learning computer around the Nima roundabout. I went to pray. When I came, my tutor was telling me that, as soon as he came to live. Then he came and put a bundle in front of me. I want you to support me. And I said, I've already made a commitment. And this commitment I made to Abubakar Alasan, he didn't give me a dime. That time, we walk to rallies, we walk to whatever. Ask me, Sakwesi Pride. Was he giving us money? It was fufu. Auntie Mariam will get her because they know me, I like fufu and lice. Even when I went to remove my tooth at Kotobabi clinic, there was a day we were going around. My tooth was aching, so they had to take me to hospital. I came, the cotton was there. I was eating the fufu. You understand? That was how committed we were to our cause. But now
I know where Amma picked her full love.
I'm telling you, they were all surprised. While the cotton was here, I was pushing the fufu. I ate it and chewed the meat. You understand? Because we'll go around, we'll come about, we'll finish around 12 midnight. We go to knock on fitting shops, those sleeping at Ayawasu Central. Because that time, Great Alliance, we were supporting Green Street for Nadeko Topo. I was the treasurer. Because they gave it to Mrs. Lebakon or something, I've forgotten her name. challenges like Sylvester Mensah of your party. So I even went to Alhaji Banda. Alhaji Banda, tell Mr. Alajite to give us that because our candidate was stronger. You could see the enthusiasm, the zeal. We went to Shaosuku. We were pelted with stones. The party didn't take us there. We took our trotro to go and support John. That was then. But now, even if they come to CPP party office, they are waiting for transport. Even if they walk from Asalam down to Asalam down. How did we get to this? Then when you enter parliament, this person has given you before you voted for the person. And then you have the cast. The person is sitting in parliament, you are waiting for him at the reception that maybe Jimmy pass school fees. Nonsense. So we have surrendered our dignity and respect to the people who go to represent us. There was a story in one of the towns I don't want to mention that they came every day. Oh, my wife has given birth, the man will give money. My father is dead, the man will give money. So they were talking, there's no development. How do you want me to develop? My scanty salary in parliament, even the common fund is not coming. You will come and ask. The demand on our people is too much.
It's too much.
Even for party functionaries.
Too much.
It's too much.
Too much. People are marrying their 10 wives and things. They want money. 10 wives.
No, somebody can tell you, can call you and say, oh, my second wife have given birth.
Yes.
There was
Second wife.
once I got angry, I said, and so what? I sent the message, and so what? What do you want me to do? You are capable of managing the two wives, that's why. Even if you have a Muslim, they said the Quran says if you can satisfy them equally. So why do you go and beg and do your naming ceremony? You understand? So politicians are suffering. Why? Because some of them too made some promises. But I'm not sure anybody promised that when your wife gives birth, I'm going to buy the ragon sooner for you. No! You understand? So I think we have to look at it very seriously because else we'll hand over this country to cartel. The cartels are who?
I've been saying this. I know I've been saying this all the time. They will get to a point where
it's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary because as I'm sitting, I want to be the chairman of the CPP.
Right.
The day before yesterday, I put pen to paper with my pen. And I said, hey, let's say if I'm even going to have 3,000 or let's say 4,000 delegates.
Charlie.
And me, I am that. Let me even calculate. I was dreaming of 500 Ghana cedis will give me 200,000.
Where are you going to get it?
I've not finished my building. And I have orphans in my house that I'm taking care of. So I'm putting one and one together.
You are doing Sabino's calculation.
You see? So I ask myself, is it worth it? Because look, let's be serious. And let me face the camera and say, what are the structures that we've put in the Convention People's Party? People's agenda is to wait for election year, they will go and collect money. Instead of them to put it in the party and build, like what I was doing with Kabila, and we're taking to court. Our offices barricaded. And the same people, or let me say the same person,
have done worse.
Worse! Not even one office. We rented offices. We made sure constituencies were running. They had their elections. We did 12 or 14 regions, you remember? Then we're taken to courts. We've opened an account. I bet we've opened in CPP. What about the 2.7 million
Ghana cedis
collected by some of the current leaders? Where is that money?
Money.
And you think people will not demand when you come to their constituency? Because they'll be hearing. You understand? If not, when I contested for women's organizer, what did I do? What did I give a take and won the highest vote in Congress? The same thing when I went to Sunyani for my contest, vice chairperson. If I'm passing, then I see some people. This brown one, the 50 cities they were going to ask. So somebody said, Aja, would they have and in fact, they took it, but they voted for me. So I was like, to add an emoji. I said, that's the perception, you understand? So they are going to make good people in this country, capable people, people who have their heart to serve, to stay away from service, which is sad.
And the disturbing trend is that the highest bidders are those who win.
No,
I'm talking about the current.
Some of them were paid, but they lost.
Not all the time.
Yeah, no,
I'm telling
There are
you.
some places the highest bidders will win, but there are some places where they have a candidate that they've
they'll take your money, but
Don't take your money and then. But me, even taking the money and not voting, I'm not for it. I'm not for it. If you don't like the person, why are you taking the money? And then some people to the delegates. When I saw this lady at Tema something, who said, Maboka, last time, she mentioned the former deputy minister for trade who is not going again, that his term between the two of them, what she had, now she didn't even get half of it, so she's waiting for the chairman to come and top it up for her. On camera!
I mean, they do it in.
So I was telling somebody, I said, I don't know, why? You think you do that and people will believe in you? You see, Kwame.
We need a restart.
Kwame, I'm telling you, we need a restart.
Kwame.
We need to reset this.
Politics is for people to come and serve people. But let me tell you, if you want to also maintain I'm not justifying giving you. If you want to maintain the destiny, maybe you say you will not give. Someone
will give. So you are forced to give.
Do you know what happened in Amasama?
No.
Quarter plot, one vote. Yes.
Oh, then now I'm there. So, everybody, all of them will vote for them.
So they removed the incumbent.
Of course. Now they will vote for quarter plot. So I talking about plot of land.
When the journalist was talking, I'm not there. I'm only saying what the journalist said. I heard from Peace FM. That the incumbent was giving 1,000.
No.
And then the person coming was giving 1,000. So when he heard that the incumbent went to 1,005, he was
gave quarter
2,000 plus quarter plot.
Wow.
That if you read that, that was what they were saying there.
I mean,
has politics come to pass?
Now to become a delegate, it's a
I'm
business.
sure they will get to
I think they should reduce the numbers.
Yeah. It's not even about reduction of numbers.
They should just
I genuinely think it will get to a point where you have to provide Range Rovers.
Oh yeah, we'll get that.
It has happened in Nigeria. Didn't I forward the video to you when they were giving Abobo yes? Somebody he lost. He wanted to be a primary, so internal primaries. What he was sharing was like a passport stadium.
Interesting.
So some of us.
Well, we are still watching.
Who will help us? And meanwhile, even if they help me, I'm thinking about the house.
You are still watching the newspaper review segment on Pan African Television. We are smiling, but we are not smiling.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
It's crazy.
Are we looking at the Western world, how they do their politics? It's rather the electorate who contribute to support their candidate.
Yeah, it's funny.
And it's so funny how, you see, and that is why sometimes I get upset. Because prior to 2016, the MPP had a system where people were contributing to their campaign.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
1 CD, 2 CD.
Yeah.
NDC also introduced the same system where people were contributing to aid with their campaign. When you are building your life, you build your life not for you, but you build your life such that your children will benefit from you so that they won't suffer, right?
Education.
Even as a private person. But as government, you need to ensure that you create a system where in the next foreseeable, unforeseeable future, the generations, that will come will benefit.
Yeah.
We forget that as delegates, we will take the money today. Chop the money today. In fact, you can even build the best mansion, whatever, right? Today.
Yeah.
But you would have destroyed the country, and your child may live in a beautiful house, but will not have security.
Yeah.
It's true. Because they will think those living in mansions have taken
their money
from them.
Yes.
So they will do what?
They will start attacking them.
Look,
I keep saying this, honestly.
1993.
Why we are drifting?
1993 when we came to
Constitution,
where I was sitting in my mother's shop, but we were selling in Boga. So I was educating the women that they should go and vote for Hillary Liman. Why? Because me, Hillary Liman, I know. So I said, and from Mama but guardian, I makan king. And I said, go and vote for Hillary Liman. I was talking to the two people who were working with my mother. So, no, it was rather panla in the distance of free HSS or something.
Yeah, they're using the money.
Meanwhile, you are complaining you've been given a list to go and buy, but you are a delegate who went and collected 5,000 or 6,000.
Of course. Anyway, I mean, I keep saying that. I keep saying that. And the last one I said that when you are going to the market, when you go to the market to go and buy maybe tomatoes, you find out from the person selling, is this one good? Is it fresh? Is it new? Is it clean? Same as pepper, same as pala, same as even salt. You find out, hey, is this one the Ada salt or this one is iodinated or whatever it is, right? And if you buy mosquito coil that burns for only 8 hours, you ask, this one, does it give you more smoke? Will it kill the... But somebody that you are voting for 4 years, you are unable to ask questions about whether or not they have good plans for this country. You can't do that. And when someone does that, you have a problem with the person asking the questions. That is where we are. That's a reality. And if we are unable to come to terms with the fact that if we fail to put the feet of government to the fire of accountability and responsibility, we will all suffer the brunt. And last time I asked somebody that when you go to the fuel pump, and you are buying fuel,
they don't ask you.
They don't ask you whether you are NPP or NDC.
They will sell it to you. They will sell it to you. We are all
this VAT that has been introduced on electricity. Would they ask you whether you are NDC or NPP? No, you will pay it, whatever it is. But it's been introduced. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, these people said that if care is not taken, they will increase their fares by 30%. Right?
Yeah, when they do,
it affects all. And that is why sometimes I wonder why we don't think about all these things. Our salaries are not being increased. So if you earn 1,000 Ghana cedis, that is what you will earn for the rest of, until whatever. Yeah. But prices of goods and services are always skyrocketing. Yeah. So if today, your 1,000 Ghana cedis, you were using, you did your calculation. So I stay in, let's say, Dome Kwabenya. When I commute between Dome Kwabenya and, let's say, Abelinkwe, well, by the end of the month, let's say I'll use 2,000. Yeah. Sorry, I'll use, let's say, 200 Ghana cedis for the month, right? I'll eat small. So let's say I'll use another 200 Ghana cedis. I want to save some 300 Ghana cedis. Because at the time, you calculated on the basis of the prices of goods and services. Now, your transportation will skyrocket to, let's say, 400 Ghana cedis. Things that you would have to buy to cook will go to another maybe 500 Ghana cedis. You'll be left with nothing at the end of the month because your salary is the same. Yes. We are not thinking about these things. And in the final analysis, we now say that, let me go to Kwame Usudanso because I've seen that Kwame Usudanso is driving some small car and maybe Kwame Usudanso has money. Forgetting that Kwame Usudanso is also in the same supermarket. In fact, worse.
In fact, they still come.
Because
it's on TV.
It's on TV.
When you're on TV, they think that you are
that is a problem. So we have a responsibility as
citizens.
As citizens, we have a responsibility.
This is part of the national service.
And the reason why we are unable to demand proper accountability from government is because we are part of the problem. We are part of it.
Yeah.
So we can't come and tell them that
we are.
You see maybe bus branding, just for the purposes of an example, bus branding, and then when you are a party faithful and you criticize bus branding, you'll be sidelined. Yeah. You will see maybe cash for seat. When you are a party faithful and you criticize it, you will be sidelined. There are so many people in NDC, both NDC and MPP, who have been sidelined because they either criticize John Dramani Mahama or they criticize Akufo-Addo.
Yeah, it's true.
Why?
It's true, yeah. So you see, that is the problem we have, Kwame. That nationalistic mentality, that Ghana first mentality is what is missing in the equation. Because now right now people think about protecting the image of their political parties, thinking about uniting their political parties, not protecting the image, the interests of the country, and also uniting the country. So the partisanship is so much so that is what we need to.
You see what Hadia is saying right now? She's scared to even contest. Even though she may have ideas that will transform the fortunes of the city.
When she puts the figures
together, she juxtaposes 500 Ghana, 3,000 delegates. I have not completed my house. I have offers that I'm taking care of. I need to buy fuel into my car. My children have to feed. Charlie, is it worth it? Even though she genuinely wants to go there and help, but she wouldn't do it because someone somewhere is depending on her to come and provide some funds for. And that is why we will always be underdeveloped.
You see, Americans say American first, right?
Yeah.
So in America, the voters contribute
Yes.
to
And then
help those who are contesting.
And then they'll account to the people who contributed. You see.
Let's look at Major Mahama. It's rather very melancholic, really. But at the end of the day, I think some relief will be brought to the mother. I saw her weep uncontrollably on TV.
His mother.
Sorry, his mother. Did I say her mother? His mother.
No,
Uncontrollably.
the mother.
Oh, the mother. Okay, his mother.
But I
Uncontrollably.
He's the wife, so that's why I was.
No, I said the mother.
the mother.
The mother.
Oh, the mother
Yeah,
herself.
yeah, weeping uncontrollably on
couldn't
TV.
read her speech.
Yeah, she couldn't even read her speech. So after 7 years of going through this
so soon.
emotional and psychological ordeal, finally the wind of justice has settled, and these people have been found culpable for the murder of Major Mahama. 2 of them have been acquitted and discharged. 12 of them have been found guilty for the offense of murder. Let me start with Yaji Hamdatu.
Yes, I think Major Mahama's issue was most unfortunate. I think when he died and he was laid in state at the State House that day, all of us went, even though we didn't know him, but the way he was brutalized and eventually died, it brought all Ghanaians together to mourn with the family. And I remember when, was it the wife who was reading the tribute or something?
The wife.
I was like, I didn't know when I started crying like I knew the guy face to face. And looking at the younger ones, his children, I was asking myself, if he's not from a strong family, how will these children survive? So many things were going through my head. So when they started the trial, at times you won't hear anything, only for us to hear about this yesterday. You know, Kwame, what saddens my heart is, I'm just praying that it doesn't happen. These 12 people that were sentenced to life in prison, isn't it? I don't want to hear one day a government or a president will come and pardon them. Because we've seen it happen. People shot people and killed. And then they were given presidential pardon. It's sad. That life cannot be restored. So at times if you are talking about sensitive things like this, you have to be careful. Yesterday, the children are getting on well, and I'm sure certain things have been put in place to cushion the family and to make sure the children get good education. Because if you look at the way the woman was with her husband, you could see that they were living in a happy home. But for a group of people, even let's assume without admitting that Major Mahama was an armed robber. What did you arrest him with to warrant that kind of barbaric act? Nothing. There was no justification. But you know, as I sit here, maybe some people will say, why is Haja talking this way? Because we believe in one thing: all soul will taste death. But at times, it is the but. If I say that, some of my Muslim friends will not be happy. But I have to say but. What the gentleman went through, even those who even narrated the story, the chronicle of event, it's like, even if you are going to kill a goat to consume, there are certain, you even have to make sure that it's not struggling before you take the life, let alone a human being who has done absolutely nothing to you. You bend him. Why? So at times I ask myself, were they really human beings who did that? Or some spirit tempted them to go and do that? In my area, when I'm driving, I see Akoko, I slow down. for them to pass. So one day one woman was, hey, Akoko promise, hey, Akoko no me and me nana. So they called the Akoko my nana in the area. So one day I was driving, a Kitra was passing Lizard. I slowed down for us. I said, because he has the right to live. Because I didn't create it. A human being, a father, husband will go to protect Ghana because he died on the line. He was there in line of duty, and then you will decide that because you saw him trot, you thought he's a armed robber. That was what some of them were saying. Then you kill him.
You are not in good condition and you walk up and down like this. Is it good for your children? And what's the meaning of holding health insurance and yet you get there while you don't have anything with you? In America and Europe, ask me why I am not working in course. Everything it's not quite clear. Moved. Okay, I don't know whether I got the name right, but it says that the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD, says the country could soon be plunged into a choiceless democracy due to the monetization of its political landscape. The policy think tank observed that internal party electioneering processes financed by certain individuals within the party tend to change the dynamics of a party's internal politics. Mano James says, KO, the MP for Daboya sent fish. Some needs just 1,000 cedis to start selling boiled eggs for survival, but MPP is sharing 35-inch TV, heavy money, and some other goodies. What sins have Ghanaians committed to deserve such punishment? Daniel Odai survivor said, please let's review our laws and enforce it towards everyone, not only the Akoko thief. Bedi Akojoffrey says, oh, Ghana, so if you pay such an amount to delegates, can you give that money to the whole people who are going to vote on the 7th of December to win that position? If I may ask, where from the money whilst Ghana is broke? Ghanaians, we betrayed ourselves and we have betrayed ourselves and our democracy. Let me come to you, Bakman.
Major Mahama.
Yeah.
I mean, I hardly cry when people die, but there are two people that really moved me. I was alone crying. I mean, of course, my mom, my dad, actually cried, but no, Professor Moss.
Professor Moss.
And this, Major Mahama.
Yes.
In fact, it's like the thing came, like. I was there and I started crying. I didn't know Major Mahama. I'd never seen him before. Professor Moss, I knew him, but he didn't know me. Maybe he knew me, but we were not. But I was alone crying because it's like he was a good man. I mean, he was a good man, and this young Major Mahama too. From even it was I even cried before getting to know a lot of things about him. That it was a very nice man. So the point is, Kwame.
My sister will kill me.
Kwame, the point is that whatever happened should never happen to any Ghanaian again. It is something that, for me should be considered as one of the, if you like, the darkest moments in our history.
MPP and NDC to courts.
And we should never allow such things to happen again to any human being. I've always said this, that, you see, I mean, that is my philosophy, that the immediate thing after birth is death. That is why when you give birth and you see what we do, whatever decision we take, the question is, as the golden rule stands, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. That should be it.
Kwame,
Yes, madam.
I'm happy that finally justice has been served. It's been served how full? Because apparently the CID has more footage of other people that they are going to pursue and also bring to justice.
Okay.
I saw this young man when he came to perform security duties at Jubilee House during President Mohammed's time. Very good looking boy, actually. His pictures actually show. And then I also saw the first footage of the attack when they were chasing him, when they started pelting stones. Then he ran to a block making factory sort of. They started picking cement blocks and just throwing it at him. He was trying to run again. They dragged him again, and he was shouting that I'm a soldier, I'm a soldier, I'm a soldier, and they just weren't listening. This, unfortunately, is one of those tragic cases of where extreme politics can take a country and a community. I'm glad the assemblyman who started the whole thing was the one who was leading the chain of people to go and face life imprisonment. So that the next time when your assemblyman start calling the whole community, let's go and beat this person and do this. Common sense will bring you to your self-awareness that some people went and followed an assemblyman to go and do this nonsense, and their language.
He's part of the 12, eh?
And yes, and the whole community. After yesterday, I'm sure this morning, they will sit in their homes and be having very sober conversations with themselves, never to repeat this thing again. It was the most unfortunate, most tragic thing that could happen to anybody, and that could also happen to this country. Anytime we drive by where his statue is and we see his gun and his arm pointed out, it should be a lesson to each and every one of us why we should not take politics to the extremes like what happened to this young man.
I think the assemblyman thought that he was untouchable, so he could do whatever.
He was a very stupid man.
Yeah.
Very, very foolish man. I just said something that I support 100% with 10,000 bags of Jetta cement. Massa, nobody should go and attempt to give them any pardon for what they have done. Yeah. It should be a lesson well learned for every single Ghanaian that under no circumstances, okay, gas some cement, that's what must anybody allow anybody to talk them into going to cause such an atrocity. I'm very sorry to his family for the loss and what they've had to go through this last few years. This thing can never. One woman. There is and how they even caught her. In fact, security services when they mean to.
Well, when they want to mafia, they'll mafia.
Especially when they touch their own. Yeah. Remember Ninja?
Yes.
Yeah. It was very
when they want
concrete.
Yeah. When they want you, they'll find you. She was caught in a trotro disguised. She was trying to move to another village, and they found her. And this last 2 weeks, I've come to a certain appreciation of how the security people operate, and kudos to them as well. The ones who are actually doing their job on the grounds, how they even go around to gather intelligence, how they disguise themselves amongst people, so nobody even notices that.
And it's very risky, you know.
Yeah,
very risky.
That they are working. I dot my heart out to them. But this case, it should never be repeated anywhere ever again.
And they should never be pardoned.
And they should never be pardoned.
Thank you very much, Gabby.
Lesson to everybody.
Thank you, Hadia. Oh, okay, 2 seconds. My time is up. What's the time now?
First time.
According to my watch, we have 7 more minutes.
No,
why are you in a hurry?
J. Kufuor came.
Yeah.
Went for a reception at the State House, just in front there, and I was standing with a tall guy like that, and he put his hands in his pockets. So I was busy talking to somebody. He said, I didn't know. I didn't hear. Before I realized, 2 security people came to invite him. And I said, why? That they are taking him for questioning. I said, what has he done? Maybe you didn't know what he said. We heard what he said. So, and we saw his hands in his pocket. We don't know what he can do.
Wow.
I'm telling you. So later on, the guy came and told CPP people that I called security people to arrest him. I said, oh, I didn't know how power. I didn't even know them. I was rather saying, no. So I ran. I said, Uncle Jake, I beg you. They are taking this person away. So he said, I'm that will you mind your business? They are doing their work. And I said, what is happening? You think that you are just standing talking your talk. Maybe the next person behind you.
You never know.
So me, that's why me, if I'm in public, no.
Never talk. Gas, thank you.
Yeah.
Backman, thank
Yeah.
you. Adia, thank you.
No, Kwame, you are invited. You have to be at the.
No, I wanted to. Okay, we'll talk after the show.
Let's talk about Burkina, Mali, and Niger and ECOWAS.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
I came prepared to talk about it.
My time is up.
It's not time.
Sit and wait.
Thank you very much. My name is Kwame Usuda.
All my
time is up. I'm
time.
going to recording actually after this, so I need to exit so she can.
At 10. It is now 9:56 here.
9:56. Yeah. So
It
thank
is
you
9:56
very much.
here.
My name is Kwame Usuda.
It is
So
9:56
thank you,
here.
Gabriela.
Yes,
Thank you, Ebo. Thank you, Adia. It's been nice spending my mornings with you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
I'll start by introducing my team. I have my returning officer, Elvis Coker. Yeah. And I have my two deputies, James Belle Ire. I hope my pronunciation is getting better. Belle Ire. Yes, he's a deputy returning officer. And I have Peter Abraham. Yes, he's also a deputy returning officer. These are the able men I work with to help us have successful elections in this constituency. So thank you very much. And myself, I'm Mr. Isaac Akoto Dako. I'm the officer, district officer, election officer for Nandom. Municipal election officer. Thank you. So I've enjoyed my stay so far working with all of you in this municipal, and thank you for your cooperation all the time. I don't have the opportunity to express my gratitude, but today I'll use the opportunity to express my gratitude. Thank you all. All right. You know, for a moment, as a referee, when I picked the mic, I was tempted to say Kukrudu. But as a referee, you know, I have to play by the rules. Yeah, so I pretend.
199, it's 495 out of the total vote of 785. So clearly, based on this resource and based on this ballot that has been counted by EC and the ridiculous attitude that has been shown by the other partner or the unknown person who came and destroyed everything, which the police people are on course to investigate, and the person will be arrested and come to book. So the EC has we didn't even find the EC. All the ECs have run away. Look at the time. We have waited till 6 now. We didn't see EC because the EC has been beaten mercilessly. One of the eyes of the EC has spoiled. So, and therefore, based on this result that we had, and countered by the EC, we have declared Alhaji Faruku, the new patriotic party, led by Alhaji Masaudu Osman, the national third vice chairman, with the regional chairman, Chairman Samba. We have stand by our national secretariat, which is led by our general secretary, Justin Fripon Kodia, and declare Alhaji Farouk as the parliamentary candidate elect. It's 495 out of the total vote of 785. So clearly, based on this resource and based on this ballot that has been counted by EC and the ridiculous attitude that has been shown by the other partner or the unknown person who came and destroyed everything, which the police people are course to investigate, and the person will be arrested and come to book. So the EC has the EC, we didn't even find the EC. All the ECs have run away. Look at the time. We have waited till 6 now. We didn't see EC because the EC has been beaten mercilessly. One of the eyes of the EC has spoiled. So, and therefore, based on this result that we had, encountered by the EC, we have declared Alhaji Faruku the new patriotic party, led by Alhaji Masaudu Osman, the national third vice chairman, with the regional chairman, Chairman Samba. We have stand by our national secretariat, which is led by our general secretary Justin Fripon Kodia, and declare Alhaji Farouk as the parliamentary candidate elect.
Truly African.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show. This is The Couch. My name is Amma Pratt. It's a lovely Tuesday. Today we have two important conversations to have. First, we're going to be talking about sugar. The alternatives to sugar, alternatives there are to sugar. We all know, the dangers that sugar brings to all of us. So today we have that sugar conversation, but then we'll also have the conversation around rehabilitating people that are hooked on alcohol, people that are hooked on drugs, and how all of us can get involved to help that situation. So yes, another social, issues-based edition of the show, but also a lifestyle, edition of the show. Let me quickly just acknowledge ATL Fabrics, for my fabric, and let me acknowledge Ines Couture, for the way they continue to make me look beautiful on the show. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Armor's Costume Fabric is proudly sponsored by Akosomo Textiles Limited and designed by Ines Couture. Locate them at Aviation Road, Ashalibuche. Call them 0200 800 990.
So our first guest for the show is my friend, Vida Fialori. Right a day. Yes, it's been a while. So, Vida is CEO. Missy, tell us.
I am the CEO of
Sweet sauce sweetness.
Sweet sauce sweetness.
Yes, natural
Right.
sweetness.
Natural sweetness.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, just by way of information, Missy has been my friend forever and ever. Let me issue that disclaimer. We've been friends for like how many years now?
15.
This is my person, right? So for all of you who've been wondering who my person is, this is my person. Right. So first of all, I want to understand why you got into this business. Because I know you from banking.
Yes.
Me and you.
Yes. Yes.
So why this business? Why did you feel the need to get into sweetness? Why?
First of all, my family has history with diabetes, both on my mom's side and my dad's side. And at some point in my 20s, I also got pre-diabetic. And I realized I couldn't continue with the sugar lifestyle. And sugar is in everything. It's in ketchup, it's in mayonnaise, it's in everything. And on top of sugar itself, which you put in oats, in tea, in coffee. So I realized I needed to make a change. And I started looking for alternatives. So I tried the foreign artificial sweeteners, the canderels, all the ones, and I realized they were not doing well for me. You know, I was getting a lot of side effects. I was getting all the my arthritis in my 20s. So I realized I needed to look for something else, and I discovered stevia. But they were very expensive on the market because we don't make it ourselves, we don't package it ourselves. So I started finding ways of getting it at a cheaper rate. So this is where my journey started.
So it's personal.
Yes.
This is a very
Yes,
personal.
it's a
one
passion
for you.
project. Yes.
Passion project.
Yes.
But just so viewers understand what we are talking, let's reiterate on the diseases.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So you're saying that sugar.
Yes.
The sugar that we know.
Yes.
Can lead us to where? Let's reiterate on the diseases one more time.
I mean, it leads you first into insulin resistance, and then into pre-diabetes, and then diabetes. And after diabetes, it's a downhill ride from there. You go to heart disease, you go to kidney disease. I mean, all the sicknesses are mostly associated with sugar.
With sugar?
Yes.
Right. So then you found alternatives, but you're saying that the alternatives were very expensive.
Yes, they were very expensive because, yes, they were coming from Europe, they were coming from America with the taxes and all that. By the time it gets here, it's exorbitant. It was not affordable for an average person like me at the time.
Like us.
Okay.
Yes. So then you decided to do something about it.
Yes.
So what did you do?
Okay, so I looked for the companies that actually supplied the companies in America and Europe, and I contacted them directly, and then I shipped them here myself, and I packaged them here myself.
So this is what we are talking about.
Yes, these are my products.
Show us, something.
Yeah.
This is what we are talking about,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Can I have one, Missy?
Yes, so this is the stevia. This is the most popular at the moment.
Right. So let's, if we can do this. This is stevia.
Yes.
There you go.
Stevia blend.
Stevia blend,
yes,
right? And the other options are...
So this is the monk fruit blend.
The monk fruit blend,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
this one is there.
Yes.
Monk fruit. Can we zoom in, so viewers can see what we are talking about? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this one, right? And then this one as well.
Yes.
This one is
stevia and monk fruit.
so this is a combination of
the two. Yes.
Right,
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Missy, what's in them? I mean, we know that sugar.
Yes.
Please forgive my ignorance.
Yes.
I'm always displaying my ignorance.
Yes.
We know that sugar is sourced from beyond the carbohydrates options that we have. When we think sugar, we think sweetness.
Yes.
Definitely not honey.
Yes.
Sugar cane.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Again, pardon my ignorance. So what's the composition for this one?
So these are made from the stevia is made from the stevia plant. The monk fruit is made from the monk fruit, and then they have a base which is erythritol, all derived from plants. So they are natural. Yes.
So these are plant-based sweeteners.
Yes. Derived from plants. Yes.
Derived from plants. Natural.
Yes. Natural. No artificial. Yes.
No artificials. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Now, I need you to explain to me, and I'm writing because you know I'm writing. I need you to explain to me how this is better than regular sugar.
Okay. So this has 0 calories, non-nutritive. So it gives you the sweetness, but you're not adding anything into the system. It just comes in and goes out, and it has no effects on the body whatsoever.
Oh.
Yes. So it's good for, so we would not recommend this for children or babies because they need the calories. Yes.
They need for the substance to stay.
Yes, to work on them. But for us who are already over in our calorific, we are overindulging. This is good for us because you have the sweetness, but you don't get the calories from it. Yes.
And who needs calories at this age, right?
Exactly.
Who needs it?
Exactly.
And also, have artificial sweetness. It's also different from artificial sweetness.
In terms of being zero calorie, yes, there are some that are 0 calorie, but those artificial, there are so many studies that say they do this, they do that. So it's a bit dodgy with that. So the chemicals, exactly. Right. We don't know what it does to you. Yes, carcinogenic and all that. Right. So this is not something that I think it's it's good for our bodies.
So this is all of the sweetness, but the calories.
Yes. So all the sweetness and comes out. Yes. No effect on the body. The sweetness, yes, and it's
because
gone.
honestly, Missy, sometimes you need the sweetness.
Yes.
Like if you're having coffee, you need it.
You need it.
You can't.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I need my sweetness.
So do I. Definitely so do I. And I'm a sweet tooth, so you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh, I know you have a sweet tooth.
Yes.
Because it's hard. Some people then decide to go off sugar.
Totally, yes.
But it's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
Oftentimes you realize it's not very sustainable.
Yeah, very few people can live with it for the rest of their lives. Yes.
Yeah. So this is your perfect alternative. Who are you targeting? And I'm asking this question because you already said we shouldn't sort of aim to give it to our babies and
yes.
So who's the target for this?
Anybody trying to live a sugar-free life or a low sugar lifestyle. Anybody who is diabetic, who cannot have sugar. Anybody trying to lose weight. Anybody can have this.
Anybody trying to stay healthy.
Sugar is poison, and it's addictive poison. So anybody that wants to live the healthier lifestyle, yes, that's
so me. Essentially, I'm your target.
Yes, you're my target. Yes,
and everybody watching is your target as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Because all of us, need to be healthy.
Exactly.
You're at your best when you are healthy.
Healthiest, exactly. Exactly.
Because sometimes you are not sick, you just don't feel great.
Yes.
You feel
you don't feel there's no energy. You don't have
you just
totally agree with you. Yes. Yeah.
And these sugars and all of these things contribute sometimes to how you feel.
Yes. Right? It affects so many things. It affects your hormones, it affects your well-being, your energy levels. I've had such a big difference when I started taking the sweetness. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and there's a big one for me, the uses. Can we use this for everything? Can I use it the way I use sugar?
Yes, you can. So you use it for
everything.
Yes, you can use it for drinks. You can use it for your oats, your porridge, to sweeten it, even to sweeten like salad dressings. They put honey in it. You can use that to sweeten it. You can use it to bake. You can use it in so many ways. Unfortunately, it cannot be used in things like ice cream because it crystallizes, has a very different composition than sugar. So it behaves differently in the cold weather or in the cold temperature. Yes, so for ice cream I will not, and for like yogurt that will be kept in the fridge, no. But like if you have yogurt and you want to eat it now, just mix it into it. And then
let me understand as well. So you know how when you give your babies Milo, I do that, right? I give my babies right? And then they are maybe unable to finish the Milo or some other cocoa drink or whatever, and then you just pop it into the fridge and put a stick in it. So later it becomes ice cream for them. So you shouldn't do that with this one.
You can do it, but it doesn't change the taste. It doesn't change. It just crystallizes. It comes back to its. So this dissolves, but then goes back into its former states, which is the crystals, the sugar crystals.
Right.
Yes. So that's the only. So you just heat it up and it goes back. But for commercial reasons, no, it's not.
Right,
yes.
Right. Yeah. So if you're eating it at home, it's okay.
It's fine. Yes. But if you want to make ice cream like on a commercial basis, where you want to, serve people after it's been in the deep freezer, then yes, it's not. I will not advise.
You see, you're the only person that will be keeping this real with us. You're telling us the truth.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Now, is this FDA approved?
It is FDA approved. It is FDA approved. It is, yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's
because I know that's normally like a headache.
Yeah. I mean, I want everybody to know that it's healthy and
all the authorities that are in charge are aware of this, and it's something that's, I mean, it's healthy all round. Yes,
okay,
yes.
that's wonderful. Now, if I want this, because, you know, if I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, I need the sugar in my life.
Yes.
Where? How?
It's all over. I've put it into as many shops in Accra as possible. We have it in Kumasi, we have it in Takrady, we have it in Cape Coast. We are moving to Tamale soon. We are moving to Ho soon. So we are going everywhere. We're leaving no stone unturned. But we are at pharmacies, we are NS Chemists, we are at Top Up Pharmacy, we are at Bachuana Total, most of the little shops, we are at Palace. So yeah.
So I mean, what am I looking for? What's the name?
Sweet sauce.
Sweet sauce.
Sweetness, yes. Sweet sauce. Yes.
It's right here, right?
Yes.
Sweet sauce.
Yes.
Let's not, you know. So sweet sauce.
Yeah.
Sweet sauce. This is what it looks like. You know, when you enter into any of these shops that she mentions, you know, this is what you are looking for. Sweet sauce. Sweet sauce, sweet sauce, sweet sauce. You have 3 options. You have the stevia blend, you have the monk fruit blend, and then you have the
Stevia and monk fruit
blend. You know, the 3. And these are like sugar.
Exactly.
But these are sourced naturally,
yes.
from natural sources.
Yes.
So it doesn't have the carbohydrates.
Yes.
It doesn't have the
calories. Absolutely no nutrients.
None of those.
No nutrients.
None of those.
Yes.
Also, it is natural. So it doesn't have artificial.
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Social media handles.
Yes. So you can find us at. Am I looking?
Go ahead.
You can find us at Sweet Sauce GH.
Right.
On Instagram.
Sweet Sauce GH.
Yes.
Sweet Sauce GH.
Yes.
Okay, that's on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay.
The website is www.sweetestsauce.com.
Okay.
And then WhatsApp 0249 888 271.
Say that again.
0249 888
271. 271. Okay, so now if I want to sell,
yes,
if I want to come and pick them up in bulk and stuff,
yes,
I call this number.
Yes, call this number.
Okay, so 0249 888 271.
Yes.
Okay, now if I want to buy some, can I call this number?
No. I mean, you can call me and I would direct you to the closest shop or pharmacy to you. Okay. So that's fine, but I do not retail. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're interested, you know, in the sugar, where to buy it, you know, if you have more questions for Vida, if you want to sell, you know, if you have questions, call this number.
Yes.
0249 888 271. I'll do that again. 0249 888 271. Please call Vida, you know, and for all things naturally sweet and tasty.
Thank you.
Give us the final words before you will be coming again, because I have a lot of questions. I'm sure that viewers would, and please, if you have any other questions, send it to you know, any of our social media handles, mine or Pan African TV's, and I'll forward them to Vida. We'll bring her again and we can have that conversation. Sugar is such a big deal.
It is.
You know, earlier today in my office, we're talking to, I don't know if I can mention, right? But he was talking about how all his mates are sick, and we're talking about how sugar.
Yes, sugar. So the main sicknesses are either from sugar or from fats, cholesterol. So, and then from there, it just goes, it spreads into so many things, like so many sicknesses. Sores, I mean, diabetes, you get the diabetic sores, their legs get cut. I mean, there's so many heart diseases, heart attacks, strokes. I mean, sugar is just poison. It's poison, yes. And I would advise, not just because it's my business, I would advise just stay away from sugar and go into and be conscious of what you eat, because as I said, there's sugar in everything. You look back on the ingredients list, there's sugar even in like cream crackers. You don't expect sugar there, right? But it's there.
There's sugar in cream crackers?
Yes, some. Yeah.
And we used to eat it like this, a safe alternative.
Yeah, there's sugar in everything.
You see, but you see, Missy, what you're saying now tells me that this is the reason why we need to cut back on the actual sugar.
Yes.
If we are consuming it everywhere else.
Yes. then we need to make sure that we don't now carry the thing itself directly.
Exactly.
Into our system.
So you cut it down directly, and then you can manage whatever is out there in the other foods.
The ones that you can't manage.
Exactly, you can
like
control.
Eating carbohydrates.
Yes, exactly.
That you can't control.
Exactly.
So please, safe alternative right here. Safer than the sweetness that we have because of how those ones are so artificial. This one is natural, like sourced from plants, without all of the artificial add-ons and all of that. And this is FDA approved. So please, if you can do anything for yourself this Christmas and the New Year, because we are close, we are in the dying embers of the year, please, naturally sweet would be the thing to do. Sweet sauce would be the thing to do. Absolutely. Finally, let me give the number 02498888271. You see, me when I get a good thing, I share with you guys. When I get the good stuff, I always share. So please, 02498888271. Let's all be sugar-free and live, healthy lives so we can contribute positively to this nation. Thank you, Vida. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much as well. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So the show is not done. This is just half of the show, or a quarter of the show. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Ames Costume Fabric is proudly sponsored by Akosomo Textiles Limited and designed by Ines Couture. Locate them at Aviation Road, Ashalibuche. Call them 0200-800-990. Ames Costume Fabric is proudly sponsored by Akosomo Textiles Limited and designed by Ines Couture. Locate them at Aviation Road, Ashalibuche. Call them 0200-800-990. Ames Costume Fabric is proudly sponsored by Akosomo Textiles Limited and designed by Ines Couture. Locate them at Aviation Road, Ashalibuche. Call them 0200-800-990. Ames Costume Fabric is proudly sponsored by Akosomo Textiles Limited and designed by Ines Couture. Locate them at Aviation Road, Ashalibuche. Call them 0200-800-990.
My name is Jerry Zida. My drug of choice was cocaine and heroin. It caused me to lose trust from my families. I know this is not the way God have created me to be, but God so being good to me, I found Chosen Rehabilitation Center. So I'm here to advise others if any of their family or any of them involved in such a case, they should get closer to Chosen Rehabilitation Center. The most grateful thanks goes to Almighty God. And the second one goes to Apostle Kobe Bingo Washington for the great job he's doing in our life. And I promise that I will not get back into drug again.
A friend kwaku promise na tibia bi amaba dom na ye cocaine ya de boni pa mama bi pese me jai na so metimi jai na nyame adom dakro mititu fifie kura be kamadina be 3 months ni kofie bi mitina ghetto na matise Chosen Rehab for we amutaba fan crofo na mbom pa ma nyame sika crofo one day mbe sha mu na omu family kofie ona omu family ko mo na me ko jai sa eduboni na adom na dum so one day na omu be family na me ba enso aboa me pa abesua ne oma bebre nti futu a me woma Ghana mabunu no nyina ne se wa wonu cigarette onu wi anase onu cocaine o timi nka anya de papa jai anase fa ho bata choosing for said ya ebeboa wa a obejai sa no ma no da Ghana fo nyina asia o mamoti.
My name is Mildred Samuel. I'm a Nigerian. I'm from Bayelsa State, Nimbe local government in Nigeria. Weed, I've been addicted to weed for 10 years. I've been addicted to crack cocaine and ecstasy for 5 years. Okay, for the weed, I was 15 when I started smoking weed. Because of my peers, you see, because of my friend circle then, yeah, so they lured me, my peers then lured me into smoking weed. Then for crack cocaine, a friend of mine is a Nigerian soldier, yeah, he's a Nigerian soldier, and then I used to have this very severe anger issues. So yeah, I was kind of angry, and then he was like, he has something that will calm me down. So he gave me crack, and then yeah, I calmed down then. I calmed down. It really worked then. Yeah, so that was how I started smoking crack cocaine 5 years ago. Oof, loss of fund. I lost, like I was not able to save a penny. I was not able to save even what I can eat, though I used to have a lot of money. Yeah, because I can sit, I can smoke 400, 500, 600 cedis a day. Yeah, and on the 1st of September I did 4,200 within not up to 48 hours. I sat down without standing up, without eating. Yeah, so it has really cost me a lot, like a lot, and then I have regretted so much, and it has even cost me my health too, because I'm asthmatic. So yeah, so sometimes I'll be smoking and then I'll get choked. I'll use my inhaler to calm down myself, and then I'll continue. Yeah, so it has cost me a lot. Google. Yeah, I was on my own one day. I got tired not because I don't have the money to smoke anymore, but because I felt like I'm dying inside of me. So I had to look for a solution. So I picked up my phone, I went to Google, and then I searched how to stop drugs. So I get some options, and I also saw rehabilitation. So then I went further to search for a rehabilitation center, and I got Google gave me chosen as the first choice with a 5-star. Yeah, like I said earlier, because I can no longer do without smoking anymore, and inside of me I know I'm killing myself. With it I can't do anything good. I'm having a baby. It got to an extent, if I get money, I won't want to get him his diapers or food stuff. I want to use everything for the drug, and it's affecting him as well. So it was very difficult for me to stop. Yeah, it was very, because I'm having a roommate. She too, she smokes too. So even if I say I want to stop, it's hard. It's very difficult. I couldn't do it on my own. So I think I was like, I need something higher than me that will help me do it. Yeah. I'll say it's been good so far, because before I came to a rehab, I don't have appetite for food. I can stay 5, 6, 7 days without eating. Yes, I don't have appetite for food at all. But since I came, after a week plus, I gained appetite for food. I've been eating, and then I've been here for like 6 weeks, and for 6 weeks, first time after 5 years, I have not smoked for a day. Yes. I want to say to the people out there, they should be careful about this drug of a thing, because some people out there, they don't really know what the drug is all about. They'll be like, I want to try. Some people feel without the drug they don't belong, or they don't belong to the life. You know, everybody wants to be I follow. So some people want to go into the drug because of that, but that is very wrong, because the drug will it will give you a bad name. You lost so many friends, so many good people that are supposed to help you. They won't want to help you. A lot of negativities around you. You won't be able to take care of your own self. You understand? So I would advise people out there, the ones that have not tried it, they shouldn't even think about giving it a try. Yeah, because I think that thing is not just drug. I think there are some evil demons around it. Yeah, it comes with evil demons, strong demons. Yeah, even if you don't want to, even if your spirit is not willing to, your body is drawing you to do it. Yeah, so that is it. You can't just stay. So I would advise the people out there to beware. Anybody that they know that takes drugs, they be like, hey, my friend, come and try, it won't do you. Yeah, because there's a girl I taught how to take drugs. She was like, she don't want to take it, she'll run mad. And I was like, I can convince you. I'm very good at convincing. I can convince you. Yes, I can convince you so well that you'll join me. So I convinced. There are about 2 or 3 of them.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the show. This is still The Couch. My name is Amma Pratt. Like I told you earlier, today our conversation is in twofold. So we had the sugar-free conversation, living a healthy life. Our next conversation is on addiction, and recovering from addiction. Now, if you've been following this show for as long as we've been doing this show, then you know that it's one topic that I keep going back to. This issue about addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction is something that I keep going back to. And specifically, there's a place that I keep going back to, and that would be the Chosen Rehab Center. Now, I think 9 years ago was the first time. Actually, no, now 10 years ago was the first time that I went to the Chosen Rehab Center in Achimota. And I think a couple of years back, maybe 2 years ago, I went back to the center. And it's always fascinating, always a time of learning for me, and also quite emotional, if I'm being completely honest. Always a time, to reflect on how fragile we are as human beings, and how one decision in one moment can completely change the course of your life for good. So it's always important that we keep reminding ourselves, of this truth, so that it helps us in the choices that we make, but so that it also helps us in helping everybody around us, so teenagers, our friends, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, our parents around us, so that all of us, ultimately the point of the show is that ultimately we live fuller, better lives. And so some of these issues would keep coming back. Today we are going back to that issue of recovering from addiction. And today, instead of me going to the Chosen Rehab Center, the Chosen Rehab Center has come to me in the studios of Pan African TV. So let me introduce my guest for this evening. I have joining me in the studio Jeffrey Boateng. Hi Jeffrey, great to meet you. We haven't met.
Yeah.
I was telling you that it's strange, considering that your abode is my abode. It's strange that we haven't met. But it's great to meet you.
Welcome. You too. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have here Elizabeth Mami.